Hey everyone, welcome back to the Crazy Dreamer Network. My name is AJ and let's hop right into today's reading. Today's reading is a pick a card on what is your spiritual inheritance, okay? So what is your spiritual inheritance? We have three piles, pile number one, pile number two, and pile number three. Pile number one, we have this beautiful Labradorite crystal. Pile number two, we have this beautiful clear quartz crystal. And pile number three, we have this beautiful Lapis-lazuli crystal, okay? So again, pile number one, pile number two, pile number three. I love you all so much, my dreamy dreamers, and I'll see you in your reading. Bye. Hey, pile number ones, welcome back to your reading. So you all chose the Oracle of the Seven Energies deck to see what your spiritual inheritance is, okay? So you also chose the Labradorite crystal. So immediately I'm getting some type of psychic inheritance you have received from potentially like lineages of your family in the past. Definitely mysticism, the love of mysticism, the love of the occult, the love of hidden knowledge, okay? And like I said, psychic gifts, whether that be clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, okay? I don't know why I'm also getting like telekinesis, okay? So you can like send messages like almost like in an instant from your mind to someone else, especially if you're deeply connected to them. Like you may have occurrences in which you're thinking about someone or something and it immediately pops up like in the external world, okay? So yeah, this is a really gorgeous Labradorite crystal. So let's put this to the side. We'll also get into your tarot, but first let's delve into the Oracle of the Seven Energies as it pertains to what is your spiritual inheritance. Thank you, God, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck, for giving pile number one's clear, concise, accurate messages about their spiritual inheritance. What is pile number one's spiritual inheritance? Clear, concise, accurate messages. What are pile number one's spiritual inheritance? I'm going to pull three cards and then after we'll begin your tarot spread. Clear, concise, accurate messages. I'm going to take the cards that pop out too. What are pile number one's spiritual inheritance? What is pile number one's spiritual inheritance? Okay, this one popped out. Card number 49, willing release. Tell us more, Spirit. What is pile number one's spiritual inheritance? What is our pile number one spiritual inheritance? Wow. We have card number 19, waking the lion. Tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise. Wow. Okay, you guys got a lot of cards. I'm going to take this one. And we have card number 44, Divine Matrix. Okay. Bottom of the deck, card number 28, Broken Open. Okay, so in regards to your spiritual inheritance, pile number ones, I have a feeling this has something to do with strength. Over time, right? Strength over time. And it has something to do with strength and fortitude and being able to like release the things that like maybe confine you or that give you heartache or that give you that attribute to your sadness here on earth, and being strong enough to endure anything is what I'm getting as well, okay? Like the strength to endure anything that maybe you're currently going through or that you've been through in the past, especially with card number 49, willing release, Waking the Lion, and then card number 44, Divine Matrix. I feel like you also have a strong mind too, because you connect your heart space to your mind a lot. Like your heart space and your mind is in congruence, and you use soft power, right? You use like a gentle approach, not coercion or not like brute force, but you use like persuasion in order to like get the things you want out of life or to get your point across, things of that nature. Okay, so I want to read a little bit of each of these cards. I won't read the whole thing unless I feel compelled to, but I'll start by reading the key concepts. With card number 28 at the bottom of the deck, Broken Open, I know that you have been like forged through the fire. Like whatever you've endured in the past has attributed to this lineage of resilience. And it could have been the endurance of your ancestors that attributed to your resilience, right? Waking the Lion. So I'm getting like you are very strong. You have a strength of like 1,000 people or something like that. And don't mistake that for like not being able to be vulnerable or anything. There's strength in our vulnerability. So I feel like even as you release things, you're not afraid to be vulnerable with people because your honesty is a form of strength, right? Your honesty, your vulnerability is a form of strength and resilience. Okay, so I feel like you've endured a lot in the past, pile number ones, and through your lineage and through your spiritual growth, you have inherited spiritually, you've inherited this gift of resilience and fortitude. Okay, but again, let's start with card number 49. It says card number 49, Willing Release. It says key concepts: yielding to a divine plan, releasing attachment to form, especially if something isn't what you expected or wanted, leaving room for serendipity. Okay, so again, I just think you're a very fluid person. You could be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or have a lot of those signs in your natal chart. But I feel like you're very fluid. I feel like you also have spiritually inherited the gift of detachment, or as some would call it, unattachment, right? You might find yourself able to get over maybe certain trials or tribulations or certain like heartbreaks or losses kind of quickly, right? And it's not like you don't mourn them or you don't transmute that energy, but you do so in a very graceful way, right? So let's do card number 19. We have Waking the Lion. It says boldness, the courage to move forward even without knowing the way, facing that which is difficult or painful, the audacity to step into the unknown. Exactly. You're not afraid to make bold moves, right? You're not afraid to shake up the status quo. I have a feeling you are not a very conventional person as it pertains to like going after the things that you want in life as well, pile number ones, okay? And I feel like you could be a Leo. Some of you, obviously not everyone, but you might also have a lot of Leo in your natal chart, or have like your Leo might be in like your 10th house, or or any other house that has to do with like, it might be in your 10th house. Okay. So, but you're bold, you're vivacious, you're not afraid to kind of stir the pot and to do what hasn't been done before. Okay. So let's see 44. So card number 44, we have Divine Matrix. It says the realm of spirit, the knowledge that we are all divine beings, part of the tapestry, weaving our dreams into the fabric of reality, synchronicity, learning to trust the way things unfold. Yeah. So I'm getting like you could see the number 444 a lot too with card number 44, and it might relate to a particular angel or a particular ancestor that you maybe call upon or maybe come into your dreams now and again. This could be a grandparent, maybe someone who's passed on, okay, that you've once known or have heard about, maybe a grandparent, a great grandparent, a great aunt, aunt, you know, or someone in your family that has passed on. And I feel like they give you the courage. It's like they tell you the way, even without knowing it. And then when you see the number 444 or 44, you're reminded of them. Like you're triggered, right? Like it's a trigger. It's yeah, just a reminder, or like I wanted to say something like a trigger statement, but it's not. It's like a totem, right? This angel number for you, every time you see a particular number, whether that's 444, 44, or maybe even just recurring numbers, you could instantly think of this person who I'm talking about, right? They guide you. And they guide you to trust in the synchronicities of your life and trust in the divine timing of your life, right? So yeah, pile number ones, for the most part, what I'm getting is that your spiritual inheritance lies within your strength and not a brute strength, right? It's literally the strength that is the strength card in the major arcana. It's not the chariot, right? It's not from willpower or forcing your way forward. It's from literally your inner resilience, right? So let's pull some more cards. I'm going to use the Herb Crafter's Tarot for our 10 cards Celtic cross spread today. So let's see more. What are pile number one spiritual inheritance? What has pile number one spiritually inherited? Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number one spiritual inheritance, spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number one spiritual inheritance. I'm only going to take the cards upright, and I'll explain to you all, you know, just the nuances of each card. Also, I might take the bottom of the deck upright or in reverse, depending on if I'm feeling compelled to. I don't know why, but sometimes I will take the bottom of the deck reverse, if it makes sense. Okay, so let's begin. What is our pile number one spiritual inheritance? God, clear, concise, accurate messages for pile number one. Only going to take the cards out, pop out. Come on. 5 of Fire, Black Kohash. Okay, your fighter. You have been, your fighter. You are a fierce competitor, okay? When it comes to whatever it is that you want in life, right? On earth, okay? Tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages. What are pile number one's spiritual inheritance? What is pile number one spiritual inheritance? We have Adelita of Air, which is the Knight of Swords with oregano. Tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number one. We have 4 of Water, Mint. Tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number ones. What have they spiritually inherited? Okay, we have these 2 cards. Let me move this a little. You guys can fast forward this while I put these cards into place. If you want to, you don't have to. Okay. Tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number ones. What are their spiritual inheritance? Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, we have Hia of Fire, California Poppy. So the Hia of Fire is going to be the Page of Wands. We have the 5 of Air, White Sage, which is the 5 of Swords. Okay, there we go. We have card number 0, the Fool with Dandelion. Okay, let's pull 2 more cards. Okay, thank you. We have 7 of Water with Birch, so that's the 7 of Cups, and 1 last card, Spirit. We have a lot of Night energy. Well, we have 2 Night energies, okay? So I feel like you could be younger, or your mind and your heart is young. You're very young at heart. You're not like, you could be a new soul to this Earth incarnation too, pile number ones. 1 more card, Spirit. What is our pile number one spiritual inheritance? 1 more card. What is our pile number 1 spiritual inheritance? What is our pile number 1 spiritual inheritance? Okay, y'all got 2 more cards. Okay, so let's see. So we have the 10 of fire and the 10 of fire, which is the 10 of wands, and then we have the Madre of air, which is the Queen of swords. Wow, y'all are some warriors. Y'all are warriors. Y'all were almost like built to built to last, but also built to like tear ish down, right? You were built to like. We have at the bottom of the deck the 3 of water, lemon balm, okay? So let's see. Okay, so in the you now heart of the matter position, pile number 1, we have the 5 of fire. So this is the 5 of wands in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot. So what I'm getting is you are here to like really kind of almost like I don't know, I keep getting the word fight, but not in like a bad way, just in like endurance type of way, like an endurance test. Like it was almost like you're put on this planet to endure a lot, right? But not in a bad way, just like to really like show who you are, show how well you're equipped to be here on earth, right? So with the 5 of fire, I have a feeling like you have a maybe your spiritual inheritance is to even fight for other people, stand up for other people, stand up for what's right, stand out of the crowd as well, right? You're probably not meant to move in a crowd or a pact. Like, not to say you're not meant to have community, no, but you're not meant to like move in a crowd or a pact. That's just what I'm getting, right? And with the 5 of fire and the heat of fire, it's almost like you have a firm knowing and a firm like fire lit underneath you, pile number 1s, for adventure, for almost like trailblazing is what I'm getting with the Hiat of fire too. And this is a very youthful spirit with the Hiat of fire because it's the page of wands. I feel like you could be like a good speaker too for some reason, and someone who's very passionate about what it is that they want to do, so much to the point where you end up strategizing a lot of cool ways to get your message out there. You could be a messenger too. That could be your spiritual inheritance. So to tell people maybe prophecies or what it is that they need to know when they need to know it, to maybe even a spiritualist or a psychic or a tarot reader. Okay, I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck because you have this little girl who's like pretending to be like this psychic or whatever, and they're using these little pictures of these plants here, which looks to me as like tarot cards, right? So this is adorable. It's like you're here to stand up for other people and to almost like fight and strategize for them in like very nuanced, creative ways. And that could be through like reading cards, that could be through just prophecy, that could be through like just downloads that you get and you just share with other people, right? So in the blockage / challenge position, we have the Adalita of air, which is the Knight of Swords. So we also have a decent amount, I won't say a lot, but a decent amount of air cards too. So some of you all could have a lot of air in your chart, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, okay? You could be very quick-witted. You could have a really keen intellect and a drive that's out of this world, okay? But what I'm also getting in the blockage / challenge position, you could want to go real fast into things, okay? And you might kind of like, in doing so, you might kind of like have some missteps along the way. You could talk really fast too with the Adalita of air. I don't know why I'm getting that with the oregano. I feel like sometimes you might neglect yourself as well because you're so you're so driven to help other people in their cause that you kind of neglect, you put yourself on the back burner, right? You kind of neglect the things that you need, uh, and things of that nature. Interestingly enough, pile number ones, so that will resonate with some people, but for others, with the Adelita of air and being on top of the five of air, you might also remember earlier in the reading when I said you might be a fierce competitor. You might have a very competitive spirit, okay? And I know it's almost like oxymoronic to say, oh yeah, there is no such thing as competition on the spiritual plane. That's true. But you could even just be in competition with yourself in regards to like what you know your capabilities are and your potential is. But even if you do have like this air of like playful competitiveness, or what is it called? Like it's like feeling like competitive, but in like a team way, like not like condemning anyone or like wanting them to lose, but also just wanting to compete for competition's sake. You know what I mean? Like wanting to compete because you're really in the race against yourself and you just use others to hold you accountable, right? So you could see what they're doing and be like, they're doing a lot. So you know what? I know my potential. Let me up my game. And I say that because with the Adelita of air, which is the Knight of Swords, and the five of air, which is the five of swords, I feel like you kind of win at all costs. Like I was saying even earlier, even you might neglect certain things about yourself just for it's like you might compete just for the sport of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to, I would even think, be a little cautious about this too, because you might step on other people's toes. You might like winning at all costs. And it's because of what you've been through in the past, right? And that is just a spiritual inheritance, whether it's, resonates or it doesn't. It seems like that's what's really coming out. Like this is like clear as day. Pile number one with the Adelita of air, Knight of Swords, and the five of swords. Like you love to win, okay? And you will win at all costs. You'll do whatever it is that you have to do to win. And maybe you need to be conscientious of that, okay? So maybe that's like a trickster ancestor or something like that, or like a trickster spirit that's also in you too that you could have inherited. Like, yeah, like you just like to win for the sport of it. It just seems like, okay? In the conscious goal position, we have the four of water with mint, okay? So in the conscious goal position, it seems like you like maybe a lot of time to yourself. And it's interesting because we have at the bottom of the deck the three of water, the three of cups, and then we have conscious goal position, the four of water. So I feel like the four of water with mint. So this could have something to do with like group settings or a group of people, maybe a friendship connection, maybe three people. I'm getting like the trifecta. The conscious goal being the four of water. And I feel like the four of cups kind of represents in the Rider-Waite deck. It stands for like apathy, feeling apathetic, feeling like, kind of like blasé, like almost like anti. Have you all ever heard of like being anti about just life, or like almost like, what is it called? Like romanticizing. I don't want to say emo, not being emo, like, yeah, kind of. Always get with the four cups, like kind of being like a Debbie Downer, but I don't think that that's what you want to be in life. Like conscious goal. Let's see here. Maybe with the four of water mint and the Fool at the bottom of it, again, trickster spirit, right? That you could have inherited, pile number ones. Let's see, four of water mint. It says, take time to refresh your spirit, prevent plenty from becoming too much, quench your thirst with gratitude. So that's what I'm getting to. I feel like pile number ones, you all could have been in like this apathetic state where like you have so much, it's almost like blase. It's almost like it's boring now. Things are becoming boring to you. You're feeling uninspired. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to have fun. You don't want to go anywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like too much of a good thing is not always good, right? With the Four of Water. And I'm getting even things that are being handed to you that you've asked for, right? Because I always get with the Four of Cups, we have, it's basically the Ace of Cups being given to them, but they're kind of like, well, I have all these cups here. I don't need that, right? It's almost like, oh, I have such a great friendship group that when love comes around, you kind of take it for granted, right? Like maybe a romantic partnership or even another person wanting to offer you like their authentic friendship. You're almost like no new friends, right? So you could also be kind of cliquish as well. Like you like to run in a clique, okay? But also what I'm getting is be grateful for the things that you have so that more of it can come to you, right? Especially with the Fool card, so that you could get new ideas, new inspiration, and that you could feel renewed. This card did suggest to renew your spirits, and I feel like that's what you're doing right now, because I feel like maybe in this current time, you do have a lot and you kind of like take it in vain, but you don't want to do that anymore. Or maybe you're kind of tired of the status quo and you, like I said, you want to shake things up and like just start over with something, just become anew with something, okay? So in the unknown influence position, we have card number 10, the Wheel of Fortune, kitchen garden, okay? So I feel like the wheel is really turning in your favor and there's a lot of abundance, prosperity, fortune that is coming in for you, pile number ones, okay? And this is also a spiritual inheritance, okay? So Jupiter could be really important for you. You could be a Sagittarius or have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart or be around a lot of Sagittarius. Also, I know Jupiter is, I think, is going direct in Pisces soon. So like I said earlier, if you have a lot of water in your chart or you've been feeling kind of like humdrum, like just down and out, or like everything's boring, nothing's really inspiring, you're going to start feeling inspired again. You're going to start feeling to take inspired action, okay, with this Wheel of Fortune card here. So in the past position card, past influence card, we have the Adelita of Earth, which is the Knight of Pentacles with Yucca. I feel like things were kind of going slow or almost like at a glacial pace, or like just, it was almost feeling like things were at a standstill or a pause, but I feel like things are going to start picking up for you, pile number ones, okay? In the approaching influence, we have the Hia of Fire with California Poppy. So you're going to be receiving some really good news. It could even come in the form of this reading, okay? So like if you've been feeling kind of humdrum, like, gosh, like, when am I going to get my blessings that I feel like have been like, I've been asking for forever? I feel like it's coming in really soon, okay? With the Hia of Fire, there's good news coming in, and it's going to be bright and it's going to be luminous. And I feel like once that comes into your life, everything's going to start to feel real good, real fluid, real like, yes, that makes sense. Yes, that resonates with me. I love this, okay? You're going to have a cause for celebration. So with the Five of Air being in the inner resources / talent position, you know, like I said, you win at all cost, okay? So you have to be conscientious of that, and you have to be conscientious of your thoughts of winning at all costs. But I feel like there could be sustainable ways to where you can win and everyone else around you can win. I feel like you might like to rush into things, or you are maybe too quick at the tongue, pile number ones, and you don't realize how cutting your words can be, right? And yeah, you'll win the battle, but then it's like, is it worth it if there's nobody else around to celebrate with? You know what I mean? So I feel like your spiritual gift is almost like, it's not a gift and a curse, but it's like a double-edged sword, right? Which all the swords cards represent in the tarot. You know, Yeah, which all of them represent in the tarot. So just be aware of the things you say, how you say it, and be aware of your thoughts, right? Allow them to come from a pure place, because you're a winner. You're already a winner. So other people winning does not take from you, and you winning does not take from other people. So just remind yourself that. In the how other people see you, okay, we have the Fool card, Dandelion. I feel like people see that you take a lot of risk. People see that maybe even like you're a lone wolf. It's just you and God, you and spirit, and you know, you're on your way, okay? People might even see you as like a trickster energy, like someone who is like not foolish in the sense, but someone who is crazy enough to go after what they want by any means necessary. You don't abide by the rules. You make your own rules, pile number ones. And I feel like you're kind of like a lone wolf with the Four of Cups, or like, okay, also what I'm getting is like, you're like, is it the prince and the pauper? You're like the prince, the princess, like a princess energy, right? With the Four of Cups. Because if you think about it, the Four of Cups is someone who has so much available to them. They're kind of like bored with everything that they get offered, right? So look at this beautiful scenery. We have all this beautiful, refreshing mint water. And it's just like, okay, I drink this every day. I'm kind of getting tired of it, you know? And with the Fool card, I feel like how people see you is like, maybe you're shaking things up. Maybe you want to like create a certain edge or a different type of flair about you that no one else has, right? Or that not many people have. So with the Seven of Water, we have the Seven of Cups. Look, your dreams are coming true. Pile number one's like for real, okay? With Birch, Seven of Cups, okay? So this talks about having a lot at your disposal and being able to discern and to choose wisely, right? Especially with the Wheel of Fortune being right on top of this Seven of Water, okay? And in the outcome position, and this is your hopes and or fears position, excuse me, with the Seven of Water here. So you could hope for all your wishes to come true, but then you could also kind of fear in the same vein, like, well, if all my wishes come true, then what? Then where would I be left off? Like, what else do I have to want? You know, will I become boring? Will I become drab? Will I, you know? So I feel like with that being said, you know what you want and you're going towards what you want, and you're actually on the right path of fulfilling the things that you want. But use proper discernment when it comes to this, because you could have a life that is so well lived, but you don't want to like have it in vain, right? You can have everything that your heart desires and more. You could have health, wealth, peace, beauty, luxuries, whatever you want in life, but make sure you ask for like those things. Make sure along with wealth, you ask for health. Along with like wealth and abundance of the material, you ask for the peace of mind that comes with it. Along with beauty and all that, you ask for genuine love and guidance and support. You know what I'm saying? Don't leave those things out, because it seems like you have incarnated on this earth as a spiritual inheritance to actually obtain those things. But you have to be very conscientious of the other aspects for you that might want them by any means necessary, to the point where you kind of forget certain things that are super important for you to be able to enjoy them once you get them, right? So in the outcome position, we have the Madre of Air and the Ten of Wands. So I feel like you could be cutting out a lot of heaviness that is surrounding you right now. You could be cutting out a lot of burdens that are surrounding you right now. Or you could be very like thorough and direct with like what it is that you have to do. Like, you know that you're it's almost like, I want to say you're in the trenches right now, right? Or you will be in the trenches, but you're cutting your way to your goals, to whatever it is that you're trying to obtain. You're, you know what I'm saying? You know how to cut through the muck, so to speak. Okay. So with the Madre of Air, which is the Queen of Swords, and the Ten of Fire, which is the Ten of Wands, I just feel like you're kind of like making way for, you're making your own way. You're carving your own path. Even if you can't see the next step before you, your wit, your intellect is going to take you there, right? And it still might be like it's like you're almost there, right? But it still might be like a lot of work to go, but you really are almost there, pile number ones, okay? So in essence, your spiritual inheritance is stay strong and stay the course, because you will have everything you want. Although it hasn't been an easy road, and it won't be an easy road, nothing in life is, nothing that is worth it in life comes easily. I won't say effortlessly, like with ease, but it doesn't just come like easy if it's super worth it, right? Have you ever heard the saying, easy come, easy go? So you're going to have to put a little elbow grease into the things that you want, and you're well equipped for it. Like, this is what you're made for, okay? So let's pull one more card to conclude your reading, pile number ones. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck, for giving clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number ones. What is pile number one's spiritual inheritance? Last card for our pile number one, Spirit. What is pile number one's spiritual inheritance? Last card to conclude their reading. Last card to conclude pile number one's reading. What is, okay, Gemini. Yeah, so some of you may have a lot of Gemini energy. Like I was getting trickster energy, okay, a double consciousness. Remember, you can't serve two masters also. Card number 15, Gemini, I think you could be thinking a lot about your life and where you want it to go, okay? Some of you all could even be a twin. Not everyone, but some. You could be surrounded by a lot of Geminis. Look at this. We have card number 21, Sagittarius IC. So some of you all could be Sagittariuses as well. And some of you all could also, again, Jupiter, right? I feel like a lot of you could be very cerebral right now, thinking about your path and your course and how you want to innovate, right? How you want to inspire, how you think outside the box when it comes to a lot of things. But you can also be kind of like tricky. Like, I want to read a little bit of Gemini. Okay, it says card number 15, Gemini, I think May 22 to June 20th. No one is free. Even the birds are chained to the sky. Bob Dylan. It says communication is key. Be versatile and quick at this time. You must also be mindful because people are talking. Okay, so people can be talking, pile number ones, about like, they might think because of the path you're on that maybe certain things that you do are a little foolish. But I feel like don't listen to them. Listen to you, because I feel like it's the people who are, and I say crazy in like a very, like, just like those who entertain their childlike spirit and folly, and they do so practical, they rule the world. They make significant change and innovation in life. So let's see. It says, when this card comes up, you may be the object of discussion, or you may have to talk your way out of a sticky situation, okay? Interesting. It says, since communication is key with Gemini, you may find yourself involved with new forms of technology that help spread your ideas to a wider audience. Such technology would include cameras, computers, tablets, and the next invention to come along. Writing may also figure in such as creating a blog, writing books, or just being involved with books and publishing. You may find yourself either to be a skilled diplomat or asked to teach or give a speech. It says, at the current time, you may find yourself to be highly strung, nervous, or excitable, as is the nature of Gemini, but still able to figure it all out with a probing mind. It may feel as if you are riding a high wind with a lofty energy. Multitasking may be required of you. It says Gemini is also the sign of soulmates, corresponding to the Lover's card in tarot. So this card can indicate an important romantic relationship has started or will figure in shortly. But the bottom line with the Gemini card is this: words are important now, so use them wisely. What did I say about using something wisely and kind of like speaking what you want wisely? Because let's say it says words will be imperative regarding the outcome of this reading. Exactly. So it says key ideas: paying attention, mindfulness, talking, writing, explanation, and versatility. So I feel like you may have to kind of finesse a certain situation, not in a bad way, but like you'll know what to do. You'll know the things to say when they say it, but just be conscientious of using your words wisely. And I feel like that's also a spiritual inheritance that you have inherited. Pile number ones is the art of linguistics, right? Being able to use your words and to kind of like do so to like maybe get yourself out of certain things or certain sticky situations, as this card would, say. So with that being said, pile number ones, that's all the time that I have for you today. I love you so much, my dreamy dreamers. If you like this reading, if it resonated, please hit this thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe. Share this content with loved ones, family, friends, and anyone who would best benefit from the messages provided here today. Again, pile number ones, if you're interested in a personal reading, my email is in the description box below. And just stay tuned because I want to do a lot more creative things and like, real cool things with the Crazy Dreamer Network. So even put in the comments down below, what else would you like to see from me, if anything? And, list your ideas down because this is not a monologue. It is a dialogue, okay? So leave it in the comments down below. Pile number ones, I love you so much. And until next time, I'll see you in your readings. Bye. Hey, pile number twos, welcome back to your reading. So you all chose the Soul's Journeys Lessons card as your pile along with this clear quartz crystal. So what I'm getting in regards to your spiritual inheritance, pile number twos, is that you all could have a very clear, peaceful mind, and you all could have a lot of clarity surrounding what and who you want to be in life, okay? You could have always, since you were younger, always been like an overachiever and always met your goals and your targets and whatever it is that you wanted to do, you always did them. You never questioned what you wanted to do. This was always kind of clear to you, right? Also, I feel like you could have like clear sight, like clear cognizance. You just get certain downloads and you just don't even know why, okay? So some of you all could be like Aquariuses or have the zodiac Aquarius highly aspected in your chart, okay? But again, what I'm getting is just clarity and this like clear state of mind to which like the things that you want and you just go for it. You just go for it. There's no questions, ifs, ands, or buts about it. You just are very clear about the things that you want. And, you've been so at a very young age is what I'm getting. Okay. So let's put your crystal here. Let's put it actually a little up here and let's shuffle your deck and pull 3 cards for you. Thank you, God. Thank you so much for cleansing and blessing pile number two's deck. What is pile number 2's spiritual inheritance? Spirit, clear, concise, accurate messages, God. What is pile number 2's spiritual inheritance? Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 2's spiritual inheritance. I'm only going to pull 3 cards and I'm going to take the ones that pop out. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 2's. What is pile number 2's spiritual inheritance? Okay. One more card. Okay. So let's see. We have, I'll show you the bottom of the deck in a minute. We have blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Exactly. You don't play the blame game. You don't place blame on anyone because I feel like you have been spiritually endowed to be insightful and also to take accountability, right? So it says acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Exactly. You've been very clear since you were younger on who you wanted to be or like what your lot in life was, so to speak, pile number 2's, okay? And we have doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. I feel like you don't know everything and you're okay with not knowing everything. Like, you're definitely okay with the unknown, okay? You kind of like glide into the unknown. I feel like you do your best in times of uncertainty because you're certain about who you are and where you're going. So even if like your environment or the world might be in a state of upheaval, you have this sense of like calmness, this cool head, because you're very clear on why it is that you're here. Okay, some of you all can be light workers, or what is it called, like, you know, when you incarnated on this planet, like, you had no doubt in your mind about your purpose. And I feel like some of y'all kind of remembered it. Like, you didn't know why you did the things that you did, but you just went with it. You didn't question it. You just, it was like this just clarity that looms over you, you know? So we have at the bottom of the deck, adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. You're, like I said, you're okay with uncertainty because you're able to take a challenge. You're able to not only take a challenge, but excel in the unknown, excel in certain realms of uncertainty, okay? Because it's not about what's uncertain around you. It's about who you're certain that you are and who you're becoming, right? So let's pull your tarot cards, pile number 2. So that was very clear, right? Clear, concise, and to the point. So I feel like, again, one of your spiritual inheritance is that, you know, you're very clear about your path here on earth, okay, and why you've incarnated. So tell me more, Spirit, for pile number 2s. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck, for giving our pile number 2s clear, concise, accurate messages. I'm only going to take the cards upright and the ones that pop out. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 2s. What is their spiritual inheritance, Spirit? Thank you. So I'm going to pull 10 cards. So we have 3 of Earth, raspberries. I feel like you're able to work with people too, because you might be very well equipped to give clear directions, or that is even your one of your spiritual inheritance, and why you incarnated on this earth is to be able to give people clear directions about maybe what it is that they want out of life and their dreams and their goals, right? With the 7 of water, birch, or to help people, to collaborate with people and helping them out of their confusion, because you're not a confused person. You know who you are. You know what you want out of life. You know what you're striving for, and you don't really put too much emphasis on the outcome, pile number 2s, because I feel like you trust. You have this just blind, not even blind trust, but like this faith that things are going to work out because you're clear about what it is that you're doing, right? So I feel like you another spiritual inheritance of yours is helping other people to clear out their blockages or their confusion, right? So we have, 10 of cups, or 10 of water, red clover. This just flipped out. So yeah, you could be a very happy person or things of that nature. But let me finish pulling the rest of these cards. If you all want to fast forward until I'm done, you can, but you don't have to. Tell me more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 2s. What is their spiritual inheritance? Thank you. Okay, so this one flipped out too. So we have the Magician. We have the 3 of fire. Okay, tell us more, God. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 2s. What are pile number 2's spiritual inheritance? Thank you. Thank you. So we have the 9 of water, which is the 9 of cups. We have the Hia of fire, which is the Page of Wands. Tell us more, Spirit. What are pile number 2's spiritual inheritance? We have card number 16, the Tower with mushroom. We have the Curandera of fire with Damiana. So that's a herb. Okay, we need one more card, Spirit. One more card for our pile number 2s. What are pile number 2's spiritual inheritance? Nice. Okay, and then we have the Curandera of earth with sweetgrass, which is the King of Pentacles. Beautiful. Card number 12 at the bottom of the deck, the Hanged One, Burdock. Some of you all, it's funny because when I was pre-shuffling the pile, some of you all could be Pisces or have a lot of Pisces highly aspected in your chart. So let's just straighten these out. If you like to fast forward, you can. It won't take me long to straighten these out though. Yeah, pile number twos, you all, some of you all spiritual inheritance is to help people be happy through turbulent times, through like upheaval moments, through entropy, right? Through what is natural to the earth to go under chaos before it could go into order, right? Especially here with this Tower card underneath this Ten of Cups, right? You're here to help people see the silver lining, and you're here to help people see that there is beauty in the struggle, or that there is beauty in the upheaval. Okay, beauty is as beauty does, right? So to speak, okay? But I digress. Let's move forward. In the you now heart of the matter position, we have the Three of Earth with raspberries. So I have a feeling pile number twos that you all are, you know, gearing up for collaboration. You like to collaborate with people. You all could be like really listening to your spirit guides, your angels, ancestors, and guides, and communicating with them, or collaborating with them. You could be collaborating with other people right now and just feeling your best as you're in a collaborative effort, right? Also, with the Nine of Water, peach underneath this, you can have a lot of frutility, right? You can have a lot of your dreams and goals met through collaboration right now. And that's one of your spiritual inheritance too, is to collaborate and to help not just yourself, but other people's dreams come true simultaneously. In the blockage / challenge position, we have the Seven of Water, birch, okay? There could be a lot of confusion in the air, a lot of confusion in and around your environment, but I feel like, you know, maybe how you circumvent that is through tarot, is through, you know, predictions, whether that be online or if you have your own set of cards or decks, or communing with your ancestors or your spirit guides, or you name it, God, you know, meditation, whatever it is that you do to seek clarity through confusing times. I have a feeling you've inherited the gift to know how to do that, or to know to do that, because a lot of people don't. It's like what we call raw dogging life, right? No, a lot of people, I don't want to say a lot of people, but some people will go through life and not have the spiritual awareness or tools that can really help them to transcend earthly matters, right? So yeah. In the conscious goal position, we have the Ten of Water, red clover. So I feel like you're here, your spiritual inheritance is to live a very happy life, live a very fulfilled, emotionally fulfilled, especially life too, and to help others do the same thing. Pile number twos, okay? In the unknown influence, we have the Magician, the sunflower. So I feel like you're magic, right? And I feel like you work your magic even if you aren't aware that you're working your magic, even if you don't realize the capacity that you hold when it comes to this magic and that you are, pile number twos, right? I feel like you could be very humble and you don't really even like go all out like you can and like you should, right? And it's interesting because with the Magician, sunflower, and then with the Curandera of fire, wow, y'all see that? Damiana, this is like you're a leader, and I feel like you have been made manifest, like literally you have, pile number twos, here on this earth to lead, right? And to lead not only and just an enjoyable life or a life of service, but to also lead a sensual, sexy, like whatever sexy means to you, right? Sexy can mean so many different things to so many different people, but a sensual, loving, passionate life as well, right? And you're a leader, and people look to you to, in regards to what it is that you do and how you manifest. People look up to you because they see the way you manifest and the way you're able to transmute certain things from a sticky situation or the not so best to the absolute, right? with the magician and the curandera of fire, right? Like people really feel like you are magic and like you work your magic, and like your magic is also like maybe even in your yoni or your, you know, your sacral, right? Like whatever that is, whatever that means. And I say that because the definition in this card's guidebook is like it says you're old, you might be getting older, but you're not dead or something like that. And like you are still a sensual human, okay? And it even says like there's this yoni shaped geode there. So I'm like, you could use like, I don't know, the power of the P. So, you know, I don't know. don't shoot the messenger, y'all. This is what the cards are saying, okay? So, anywho, in the past position, we have the 3 of fire with calendula. You're expanding, okay? You're expanding, you're growing, and I feel like you need to take up space, like I said in a prior pick a card readings, a couple pick a cards ago, right? You need to take up space, pile number 2s. It's your time, babes. It's your time to shine. It's your time to own who you are and what it is that you want to do in life. And I feel like you realize this. You do understand this. You have a fundamental knowing that, yes, I'm expanding, I'm growing, and I might even be growing out of certain customs or certain people, places, things, situations, right? If you're living somewhere, you could be growing out of your neighborhood or your apartment or your house or, you know, whatever it is that you feel like you could be growing out of at this time. In the approaching influence, we have the 9 of water with peach. Okay, so we have, this is basically the 9 of cups. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of contentment in community building, in structure, and in like, you know, working with others, right? To make something happen, building something with other people. A lot of dreams are going to come true too, not just yours as well. And I feel like that's one of your spiritual inheritance, is to really have a community that you can build with, pile number 2s, okay? So that you manifest your dreams and you allow other people to manifest theirs as well. In the inner resource and talent, I feel like this came up in pile number 2 as well. In the same position, we have the Hia of fire with it, which is the Page of Wands, okay? California Poppy. I feel like not only are you adventurous, not only are you intuitive, but I feel like you, I'm feeling like you have that can-do spirit, that just go for it. Take the bull by the horns, so to speak, right? I feel like you could have gifts of prophecy, too, in the inner resources and talent position, pile number 2s, okay? I feel like you could have had this since you were a little a young person, a little girl, a little boy, a little person, right? You could have had this since you were a child, okay? And I feel like maybe you're just now able to hone in on this talent, and it actually really does provide you with resources beyond your wildest expectations, okay? In the how people see you, card number 16, we have the Tower. I feel like people see how you're able to rebuild yourself time and time again, okay? You're able to rebuild your happiness. You're able to rebuild anything from the ground up. You could be a person who have like a lot of startups, or could be a person who like trades businesses, like will be able to build a business from the ground up and then give it and sell it, right? I don't know why I'm getting that too, but this is what I'm getting. You're able to, people see you just as a force, like as like, you know, like awakened. You're able to release things that, you know, no longer serve you, and just trudge or like go forward in life, just unrelentingly. I think that's how you say it. Okay, with the Tower, like people just see you rebuild yourself time and time again. You're a force to be reckoned with, and you're able to just reinvent yourself time and time again. You just keep getting better and better, pile number 2s. Whenever like something kind of like shakes you up, you just get better and better and better. You just reinvent yourself better and better and better, okay? In the hopes and fears positions, you have the curandera of fire with Damiana, okay, as the herb. So I feel like you have a hope to be this fierce leader and to really help people manifest their dreams and their ambitions. But you also might fear simultaneously, or have this kind of like deep-seated, like this kind of like this talk in the back of your head, like, what if I don't succeed? What if, you know, I fall short of my leadership capabilities because of my humanness, my humanity, right? But I have a feeling you have nothing to fear. And even with questioning that, that just goes to show that you're the person meant for the job, because you're able to look at everything and you're humble and you're able to look at yourself and be like, you know, but I'm only human. So, you know, I want to be able to lead people, but I want to also be able to lead them well and to do it well. And, you know, I feel like you question everything, and, you know, you're able to have a lot of answers met because you do question things, you know. I think that's a good thing. Even with your certainty, you're allowed to question, you know, that is a sign of brilliance, right? Question everything, okay? In the outcome position, we have the curandera of earth, sweetgrass. You're really building something stable here. I feel like not only are you going to be stable inside, but you're also going to have this really secure 3D experience that people could only hope and dream of, right? You could be building your business, building something with people that you love, and really, you know, help others through what it is that you're doing, okay? I do want to read a little bit of this curandera of earth for you. My pile number 2s, if I can find, here it is. It's like you've mastered your craft, or you will be, okay? That's your spiritual inheritance. So it says, curandera of earth, sweetgrass, the living earth is our greatest teacher. Braid together love, health, and wealth. Oh my gosh, did I say that? No, that was in the last reading, I think. Breathe together love, health, and wealth, then give it away. Let a holy fragrance bring you home. It says, several strands of sweetgrass have been woven into long braids in a well-tended meadow. An old woman weaves the long blades directly from the earth. Her hands are weathered from working the land. Her old sun hat, worn from decades of use, rests nearby. Her bracelets jingle as she lovingly connects with the sweetgrass, humming as she weaves. The curandera of earth knows that when we share the sweetness of life with another, all may thrive. She brings attention to the rich bounty that nature provides. She visits her garden and the wild places often, and shares her knowledge freely with her people. Sweetgrass grows best in community with other prairie land plants. She understands, as Robin Wall Kimmerer writes, in braiding sweetgrass flourishes when it is harvested and declines when it is not, okay? It says, curandera of earth tends the land out of a heart flowing. The curandera of earth tends the land out of a heart overflowing. She says, thank you, thank you, thank you. People are drawn to her grounded, steady presence. Her counsel brings faith and inspires prosperity. Yeah, I feel like you could also like be a prosperity coach, and people see how you manifest like the life that you want, and so they really lean towards you for guidance and wisdom, pile number 2s. And like that is a deep spiritual inheritance that you have. It's like you have inherited spiritually to be wealthy and healthy and loving, and to share that wealth with others here on earth, okay? So let's pull one more card to conclude your reading, pile number 2s. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this, for blessing this deck, for giving pile number 2s clear, concise, accurate messages, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages for pile number 2s. What is pile number 2's spiritual inheritance? Clear, concise, accurate messages. Just one card, Spirit. What are pile number 2's spiritual inheritance? One card. One card. What is our pile number 2's spiritual inheritance? Ooh, mystery. Let's see, one more card, Spirit. What is our pile number 2's spiritual inheritance? Look at this. We have card number 9, Uranus Genius. Yeah, it's to use your genius, your innovation, your love and zest for life to create. And look at the bottom of the deck, we have card number 14, Taurus I have. This is a very auspicious card in this deck as well, pile number 2s, and it means like you're going to have a lot of abundance. I even think this card might mean, it's the Hierophant in this deck, but it means you have a lot of spiritual wisdom, okay, i.e. genius to give. And I feel like, oh my God, that's so interesting. This is also the Tower card in this deck. So I feel like you're just an innovator. Like, you're an innovator. You are groundbreaking. That's what I'm getting. Groundbreaking. You shake SH exclamation point T up. You shake things up for their betterment, right? So they can thrive. It's also like you might find people who have so much potential, have so much genius, and you know what one of your spiritual inheritance is to really like pull it out of them, right? And you'll be able to discern who to pull it out from, and who's worth pulling it out from, and who is maybe just, you know, maybe it'll just be too much of a burden on yourself and this person if you were to just pull it out of. And maybe you'll see it and then they'll come back to you in the future, and then they'll be ready, right? But you'll be able to spot genius. You'll be able to evoke genius. You'll be able to pull genius out of other people and help to make them shine as well, okay? So with that being said, pile number 2s, that is your spiritual inheritance. Beautiful, gorgeous. I love it. Also, if you like this reading, if it resonated, please hit the thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe. Share this content with loved ones, family, friends, or anyone else who might benefit from the messages provided here today. Again, pile number 2s, if you're interested in a personal reading, my email is in the description box down below. And I want to do a lot more cool, interesting stuff with the channel. So even if you have some insights, if you have some advice, or if you have something that you want to see from me, put it in the comments down below. I would love to see it. This is not a monologue, this is a dialogue. So I love hearing from you guys. Y'all make me laugh. Y'all make me laugh so much, and I just love this community that we're building here on the Crazy Dreamer Network. So pile number 2s, I love you so much, and until next time, I'll see you in your reading. Bye. Hey, pile number 3s, welcome back to your reading. So you all chose this Lapis-lazuli crystal, one of my favorites. I love them. I love it. And I feel like you're in spirit, your spiritual inheritance. And it's so funny. So I just seen 11111 on the time clock. So oof, this is a message for you, pile number 3. So stay tuned till the end. Your spiritual inheritance has a lot to do with your inner royalty. You might have like a very regal presence about you, and I feel like that's inherited from beyond, right? Whether that be your connection to source, whether that be your ancestors, your guides, your spirit guides. They want you to know how royal and regal you are, and like it's almost like your presence commands attention. That's what I'm getting. Your presence commands attention, right? So I feel like, you know, you're the person that people go to at work. You're the person that people go to when they need something, because they know you're the leader who's equipped with the answers. You have the answers, okay? Or they feel that you have the answers, whether you do or not, okay? So I digress. Pile number 3s. Let's just hop into your reading, okay? So I'm going to start with, this is the archetype deck, and I'm going to start with 3 cards, okay? So let's cleanse this deck. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck, for giving pile number 3s clear, concise, accurate messages. What is pile number 3 spiritual inheritance? Clear, concise, accurate messages about our pile number 3's spiritual inheritance. Clear, concise, accurate messages about our pile number 3 spiritual inheritance. I'm only going to choose 3 cards and the cards that pop out, okay? So what are our pile number 3 spiritual inheritance, Spirit? Ooh, so we have the Nectar. Beautiful. With the first card out. Clear, concise, accurate messages, Spirit. What is our pile number 3 spiritual inheritance? 2 more cards. What is our pile number 3's spiritual inheritance? 2 more cards. Okay, So we also have the womb. Hold on. These look very similar to pile number 3s. I feel like creation, the sweetness that's provided through your creation, whether that be, you know, in a literal sense or just the creations of your dreams or your goals. But let's proceed. One more card, Spirit. What are our pile number 3 spiritual inheritance? The forest. Lovely. Okay. So this is something you create through, like, let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Okay, the medallion. Okay, so I'm thinking like a champion. I'm thinking like when it comes to a medallion, like a token, a prize, right? Something you are reaching for. You're like reaching for the stars, reaching to grab, hoping to obtain, okay? But let's go deeper with this reading, pile number 3s. We have the nectar, the womb, and the forest. I feel like what your spiritual inheritance is to experience the richness out of life because you've made it through and you've endured something. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get the prize that you've been seeking here on earth because you're actively creating it right now, pile number 3s, okay? But I do want to read a little bit from the guidebook, so just bear with me. So let's see. Let's start with the nectar. So the nectar is the tools, okay? Ooh, you could have been drawn to pile number 2s as well, pile number 3. So 181. I feel like your gift for creation, y'all are giving siren energy. Y'all are giving like Erykah Badu energy, if you catch my drift. But I digress. Let's see. 181. 181. Ooh, so okay, 181. The nectar and the medallion are right next to each other, so that's interesting. So it says the nectar, the medicine, the elixir, the garden. In Hindu mythology, there is a miraculous substance known as amrit, or nectar, that contains infinite healing power. This golden nectar, or sacred elixir, is a drink of immortality, and like its sister substance, soma, is known to activate subtle intelligent forces that ease the mind, body, and spirit. Though esoteric, these images lead us to the central energy of this archetype, the sweet, potent, heavenly essence that lubricates our spirit back to life. That's so interesting. Yeah, I think, was it pile number 2s? Yes, you all, whether or not it was pile number 1s or 2s, pile number 3s, y'all would go back to another pile if you felt called to it, okay? Only if you felt called to it. But again, it says, is known to activate the subtle intelligent forces that ease the mind, body, and spirit. Though esoteric, these images lead us to the central energy of this archetype, the sweet, potent, heavenly essence that lubricates our spirit back to life. The nectar card calls us to identify and relish in places, practices, people, and activities that regenerate and heal. Medicine is needed, and it comes in subtle form that you may be overlooking. Seek the most sensuous, fragrant flower in the garden you have forgotten. Don't underestimate this remedy. It is said that when someone has activated this substance within, it is reflected in their shimmering eyes. So it says, when light, glowing, relaxed, subtle illumination, when dark, fixation on fixing, aggressive approach to healing. So it says the nectar, the mystic, and the Aletheia cards are linked. It is the mystic who, like Krishna, turns poison into nectar, and it is truth that can often serve as a potent elixir for healing. It says, since the nectar within you, dripping from the crown of the head and soothing the brain, let it drip down the spine like sweet honey. And it's interesting because I said there's something royal about you. So I feel like you have this royal essence about you that is just so sweet and alluring. It's like a sweet nectar that people can't get enough of, pile number 3s. And for some reason, I'm getting it could be attached to your femininity, whether you're masculine, feminine, whether you don't identify as any of those, right? I feel like the essence of femininity and masculinity is within every single one of us, whether we identify with one, both, or, you know what I'm saying, or even neither, right? But I feel like if you tap into the air of it, right, like you don't have to identify with being prideful, but you could be proud of certain things and like maybe lead in to a moment that you're proud on to feel better. So with that being said, you could lean in, even if you don't identify with femininity in that regard, you could lean into a feminine thing and like use it to hone this your spiritual inheritance, pile number threes. But what I'm getting is that some of you, or the majority of you who do like are tapped into the divine feminine, this has something to do with that. And it has something to do with, I'm getting Oshun, right? I'm getting like Oshun energy. And I don't really know a lot about Orishas. I dabble here and there, but I don't know a lot about Orishas, but I'm getting Oshun energy because wasn't it like someone, Ogun, or maybe someone, the other Orishas, who was trapped in the forest, and she was the only person able to lure him out with honey, right? And they talk about honey a lot. In the nectar, in the womb, her sweetness, her femininity, right? Or their femininity, okay? So it's giving ancestors, like whoever it connects to the Oshun energy, and that could be a lot of us too. Like Oshun is depicted in so many different like advertisement campaigns, whether that's Dior, whether that's, you know, European advertisement campaign, like anything when it talks about like femininity and like using your feminine prowess to get what you want. I think that's giving your spiritual inheritance, right? Even if you're a masculine energy, you use soft allure, you use persuasion to get the things that you want, to lure people out of maybe these dark places like the forest, right? And even with the medallion, I'm getting lure, right? You're luring them with like a token, a thing, right? Something that you can give to them, or a gift, right? So I'm actually going to read medallion next, just because it's next. It's really next in the guidebook, okay? So it says the medallion, the amulet, the talisman, the heirloom. Exactly. This is your gift. This is your inheritance, right? It says the passing on of sacred objects is an ancient ritual within families, between lovers, and in tribes across the globe. We gift jewels, treasures, keepsakes, and mementos of all kinds. Some of great material value, others that hold emotional resonance, and still others with both. Yet when these gifts are bestowed upon us, it is important to recognize that they may bind us to an unspoken agreement or promise. When the medallion card appears, be aware of how the objects you hold dear may be embedded with an unconscious energy of expectations, right? It says materials hold consciousness, and it's time to reconcile the vibration of the objects around you. What do you covet and collect? Why is there an object you have held on to for years that you are ready to release? Perhaps it is time to reach for the medallion that aligns with your deepest values, okay? It says when light, upholding tradition, protecting, honoring. When dark, burdensome, inheritance. That's interesting. Habituation. And it says go deeper, ancient Egyptian scarab amulets. It says imagine if your family, school, or social group had a crest emblem or amulet. What would that be? Draw it. It says, do you believe that objects contain supernatural properties? When you have experienced this to be true? When have you experienced this to be true? Excuse me. So yeah, wow. This talks about inheritance, and it's interesting because they say this is dark, when like the dark energy is inheritance. So it's something that's keeping you tied here, right? This could be your femininity. This could be something about your womb, something about your sacral chakra as well. Pile number 3. This is very interesting. I didn't expect for pile number 3 to be like, what can we expect in life, right? But okay, let's see. Let's read the womb. So the womb is in the places. So it says 155. It says the nest, the belly, the origin. So I feel like you could be tied to a certain place, especially with the forest here. You could be tied. You could you could have, okay, let me just read this. It says the womb, the nest, the belly, the origin. Everything has an origin story. The womb archetype asks us to contemplate the beginning beyond the beginning, the mother beyond the mother. In a world that often negates the power and necessity of feminine principles, this card returns to us with the warmth, tenderness, and sacred intelligence from which we came. It is a card of receiving, not achieving, of accepting love from the mother of us all. She is the life-giving force that forgives and cherishes even the most wounded and desperate soul. No matter how lost you are, the womb awaits your return to help you heal and grow. This card is a call to keep things simple. Oh my goodness, I know exactly what this is about. Oof. This card is a call to keep things simple, to return, to be reborn in the name of love. The womb is everywhere. It is beyond gender. Hello. Beyond time. We are within it as it is within us. Okay. It says when light, nourishment, harmony, warmth, when dark, stricken, ecological crisis, infertility, imbalance. And it says, go deeper, Gustavo Corbett's The Origin of the World. It says, consider that Mother Earth must also have a mother. Imagine her. What would honoring the feminine look like to you? Where would you begin? Imagining yourself as loved is a good place to start. So this is, okay, you know what I'm getting? Pile number 3s. This might sound politically incorrect, but I'm just going to say it. It's time to get off the teat, okay? I'm sorry. It's time to get off the teat, my friends, okay? So whatever proverbial bust you have continuously been suckling from, it's time to let it go. It's time to move out, maybe of your parents' house, you know, within reason, okay? Give me some... Just hear me out, right? It's time to maybe move out from your parents' house or move away from this close, coveted space that you've been in for a while that's so comfortable, like the womb, right? And it's time to like kind of go beyond your comfort zone with the forest. That's what I'm getting, especially with inheritance. I feel like you could have inherited a really good position in something, but I feel like, and it provides for you with the nectar. It provides for you with the nectar, right? But sometimes we as humans, we outstay our welcome in our comfort zone. So we allow it's like a prince or like a princess, right? That's inherited everything from their parents. That's their royalty, right? So they've inherited this thing from birth, right? So they don't know what it is to work hard. They don't know what it is to want something all their own, right? And I guess I can understand with the medallion card, the darkness that inheritance could bring. It's a gift and a curse. So in one regard, I'm getting, you know, maybe you've been overstaying your welcome or overstaying something to the point where maybe you feel lost. You don't know who you are, right? With the forest. And now it's time to find your own way, okay? It's time to find your own way. You could always go back, right? Like what the womb would suggest, you could always go back, but it's time to forge your own path is what I'm getting. Because your royalty, it's in you. You don't have to be surrounded by it 24/7. It's in you. You have it. It's of you. So what can you create on your own is what I'm getting, right? And that's your spiritual inheritance. Sometimes it's that I feel like you're coming into the understanding of, wow, this inheritance that I've gotten, whether it be, you know, everything is already bought and paid for in my life. I'm a kept person. My parents have really done well in their life, so I've done well in my life, right? And I'm able to live off the fat of the land, so to speak. But what I'm getting is that eventually you're going to get tired of that. It's almost like the Lord Krishna, Buddha, right? The Siddhartha, right? He had everything. He had everything to the point where he had this awakening and just didn't want it anymore. He just went into the forest and meditated. He went into the wilderness to find out what they were really made of, to find out what he or whoever you subscribe to, whatever origin story, even Christ, right? Moses, you know, what you are really made of, right? And that's what I'm getting here, pile number threes. Your spiritual inheritance is leaving the nest and finding out who you are, you know, and not even finding it out, but making it. You're making your own way. You're paving your own path right now, okay? So, or you're being called to, okay? Because your inheritance, your royalty is within you. It can't be taken away from you. You're born into it, right? So just think about it. If you leave the nest, even given like the Chariot card, I always think like the Chariot card is like a young warrior leaving the castle, right? And that's what I'm getting here. So I have a feeling your spiritual inheritance is royalty. But I'm also getting in the same vein that you're being called to step out of the castle walls that you've been indoctrinated in and to blaze your own trail, pile number three. So let's pull some more cards. That was deep. You've probably already been doing it too, but let's pull some more cards. Oh, look at that. Ace of Earth, Nettle. Exactly. And that's the medallion too, in and of itself. So let's pull some more cards. Clear, concise, accurate messages for pile number three, Spirit. What is pile number three, spiritual inheritance? If you all want to fast forward till I get to the 10th card, you may. Okay, we have the 5 of Water, Golden Seal. Tell me more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages. Clear, concise, accurate messages. Okay, we have, wow, this card has come out a lot. Black Kohash, 5 of Fire, which is the 5 of Wands. Tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number threes. We have the 9 of Air with Pomegranate. Tell us more, Spirit. What is our pile number three, spiritual inheritance? What is our pile number three, spiritual inheritance? We have the 2 of Air with Chicory. Tell us more, Spirit. Clear, concise, accurate messages. Too many cards. Clear, concise, accurate messages. What are our pile number three, spiritual inheritance? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we have the curandera of Air, Rosemary. We have the 5 of Earth, Slippery Elm. We have the 7 of Air with Eucalyptus. I want to just take this card just because it's popping out. We have the Hia of Fire, California Poppy. This has come out in all 3 piles. One more card, Spirit. What is pile number three's spiritual inheritance? Madre of Water. And we have at the bottom of the deck, card number 8, Strength with Garlic. Okay, so let me just organize these. Okay. Uh-oh, hold on. There we go. All right, pile number threes. Okay. Oh, goodness. So you guys can't see that. Okay, pile number threes. Can you see that? Let's move this up some more. See, this is the time delay when it comes to, at least for me, when it comes to online shuffling, but I mean on camera shuffling. Kind of have a little OCD. Not. Anyways, so pile number threes. Let's see here. Okay, so hopefully y'all can see your pile. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think you can. So let's put this back down here. Great, fantastic. Okay, so in the you now position, we have the Ace of Earth with Nettle. So interestingly enough, pile number threes, look at this lush greenery as it pertains to all this nettle that's planted. It's like surrounded in this lushness. And then we have the 5 of Water, which is the 5 of Cups, right? And it's like barren. It's barren, okay? So it's the stark contrast for me here, okay? And it's interesting that these two cards in the you now heart of the matter position and then the blockage slash challenge position is like the crux of the reading. It's like something that was once lush and full of life and full of prosperity is now barren. And I feel like that's inner barrenness, right? You're feeling empty while you could be surrounded by lushness, surrounded by everything that you've ever needed, wanted, could ever. You can want for nothing. You want for nothing, right? But your inner self is barren. You're looking for more on the inside, right? It's not your exterior that you're fixated on. It's not the adornments or the things that you have. It's how you feel inside, right? So that's what I'm getting. Like, you're feeling a little empty. You're feeling a little maybe alone or aloof or a little isolated. And I feel like you really want to enrich your soul. You really want to find something that you're passionate about, right? It's not about the material, just the material. It's about what can nourish your soul right now. And I feel like this applies for a lot of people who live in first world conditions, right? Things might seem like, oh, not the best, but compared to a lot, you live in a lap, You live in a lap of luxury, right? And I feel like sometimes we lose that because we're so inundated with things and so much things, right? It's almost how that euphemism goes. People shouldn't love things. They should love people, or like people are too busy loving things. Oh, no. This is how it goes. People should use things and love people and not the other way around. And I feel like in today's society, we know that we've kind of been birthed into a lot of like luxury, whether it pertains to technology, technological advancements, having like a cell phone, a smartphone, having a laptop, computer, having the internet. Those are luxuries. Come on, 100 years ago, you would probably be considered for alien, okay? That outside of the norm, if you had these things, right? It wouldn't even be like, it would be over a luxury. It would be like, you're an alien. Like, what dimension are you living on? What planet are you living on that you have all these types of feats of technology? Or like, you had to have been like maybe even extremely wealthy. And that's not even so. It's like you are from another freaking planet, So now that we just are inundated in these times and this is like the new norm, it's draining to us. I feel like there's this drainage, right? That's within our souls. Like, our souls are being broken and we need to harness it again. We need to harness the lushness, not just of the external, but of the internal, right? So, and that's what the you now heart of the matter position and the challenge and the blockage, right? I feel like this is a societal thing as well. It's an environmental thing, right? So with the 5 of fire, Black Cohosh, with the conscious goal, I have a feeling like you're standing up, you're strategizing, you are fighting for what it is that the love that you want, right? We don't get the love that we want. We get the love that we think we deserve. So what it is that I feel like you deserve this spiritual sustenance somehow, some way, and you don't have to drain the earth's resources or other people in order to get it because it's within you, right? That's what I'm saying, like, get off the teat. Have you ever heard that saying? I don't know if that's derogatory or not, to be honest, but it's always been kind of funny to me, but I don't think it's derogatory. I just think it's kind of like, it's real, Sometimes we got to get off of our parents, our mothers, teat and go fend for our own food, right? So that's what I'm getting with that. I want to read a little bit of this 5 of fire just because it's come out so many times. So let's see. 5 of fire. It says, anger is sacred, burn through the slumber of helplessness and complacency. Booyaka, okay? It says, resist. Woman's rage is a force that will change the world. Exactly. This is a femininity reading. And it's about the state of the matriarch, right? It's about the state of femininity. This isn't political. This is a principle, okay? Wow, this is freaking deep. Ugh. I like to go there, but you know, come on, y'all. We know. So, anyways, 5 of fire. You're fighting. You could feel angry. You could feel like perplexed at certain things, like why are certain things the way they are, but I feel like you're standing up for it. You're standing up. You're resisting. You know, you're resisting the lies that you've been told on the drainage of femininity, on the it's almost like the drainage of the earth's resources, which then is Mother Nature, right? So in the 9 of air, in the unknown influence position, we have the 9 of air pomegranate. I feel like, I don't know. Okay. I am an optimist by nature, right? I'm an optimist by nature. But truth be told, I feel like a lot of people are afraid. A lot of people are worried, and a lot of people are concerned, okay? A lot of people have been driven to the depths of their despair, okay? Into the depths of Hades, so to speak, right? The Persephone story, right? Into their dark feminine, right? Which isn't, there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with the dark feminine because it has its place in society too. However, there is a call for a balance within our dark femininity and our, not even just dark femininity, but our femininity in general. I feel like a lot of people, whether male, female, you name it, have been drawn into the depths of anger, of scorned, feeling deprived, right? Of who they are and of where their origin is, right? With the 9 of air. This is sleepless nights. This is worry. This is fears coming to pass, right? In the unknown influence. And it's energy because with the Hia of fire, California poppy being beneath that, it's almost like it's this quest for something good, right? This wanting of hope and good news instead of the inundation of bad news all the time. Harshities, right? Like, tell me something good is what I'm getting, right? So this is in the unknown influence position. So there's a lot of deep despair. I feel like maybe to the viewers who are watching this reading, you could feel yourself like not getting a lot of sleep or getting good, adequate sleep. And you could be having dreams that, you know, kind of keep you up at night or wake you up out of your sleep. And you're wondering why. Like, I didn't even go to sleep with the TV on. What's going on? Like, why do I keep having these dreams about things that, you know, are less than savory? And I feel like it's a environmental thing. It's not just you. It's a part of the collective conscious that's it's happening so much now that it's permeating everyone's sleep, everyone's dreams, everyone's, like, you know what I'm saying? Their minds, right? Because we're all connected, right? We're a neural network, especially with the internet. So in the past influence position, we have the 2 of air chicory. I feel like you've asked for peace, right? So you can get a good night's rest. So you can have a peace of mind. So you can rest easy, pile number 3s. And I feel like that's your spiritual inheritance, is for you to find the equanimity and the tranquility amidst the chaos, right? And that's forging your own lane. That will happen through forging your own lane and saying, F the status quo. I'm tired of, you know, having to red pill, pink pill, blue pill, whatever the pills. I'm tired. I'm not going to take none of the pills. How about that? You know, it's like you're cutting stuff off left and right. You could be giving a lot of stuff away that, like I said, that holds a lot of energy that maybe you didn't even know was draining you, right? As the medallions, what it said in the guidebook. If you guys want to, you could rewind that and go back to what it said about the medallion in the guidebook. Whatever you've spiritually inherited that is no longer serving you, you're cutting it the heck off with the curandera of air, with rosemary. You're saying it, you're telling it to get gone. You don't want it. You don't want it, right? Even with the ace of earth, that is inheritance, right? That is a certain inheritance, and it might not serve you right now. And I just keep getting the story of the Buddha, of Siddhartha, of Krishna. I don't know if it's Krishna, but you know what I mean? We all know the story of the Buddha, right? And how he was a prince who had it all. And he had a spiritual awakening one day and realized how the travesties of the world, and he had to find peace of mind. He had to cut everything off, go off the grid, so to speak, right? And like just find what was going to work for him and then share it with others, right? Share it with the masses. Like that was his spiritual inheritance. Although he had inherited all of the earthly things and it just didn't do it. If anything, it attributed to more neuroses or more complacency or more unrest, right? So this is the approaching influence, the curandera of air, right? So with the approaching influence, I feel like you're cutting a lot of things off. Maybe you're going off the grid. Maybe you're signing out, signing off, deleting the apps, giving away the clothes, the excess. You're giving it away. You're cutting off the excess and you're going to the essential. Pile number 3. This is freaking deep. Let me hurry up before they try to cut off my camera. I don't know who they is, but I'm joking. But again, so we have in the inner resilience, in the inner resources / talents position, we have the 5 of earth. You are equipped to kind of like live off the grid. You're equipped to living at the bare minimum pile. You're equipped to change and to live in the bare minimum if you need to. Like, I feel like you've gotten used to that. You're okay with being vulnerable and feeling stripped, right? With the 5 of earth, okay? And it's interesting because in this reading we have 555. So there's immense change coming. There's massive change coming onto the planet right now, pile number 3s. And I feel like y'all's spiritual inheritance is to help people traverse through the change and to help them to be more fundamentalist in regards to just having the essentials, right? Almost like minimalism, like almost going back to minimalism. You remember when minimalism was a thing? Like it was a trend for a minute, but I feel like for a lot of people, or for a good majority of people, it's going to be made to be a lifestyle. It's not gonna, you're not gonna have the choice anymore. And not like that. Yes, you're gonna have, what you want, but what you want is really peace of mind and a foundation and love and compassion in your heart. Yes, we could be spiritually blessed with all the earth has, but sometimes when we get that, the allure wears off quicker than we might think, right? So I feel like pile number 3s, you know that you're royalty and you know that your royalty lies within you no matter what you have or what you don't have, right? Because the riches of heaven and earth, quote unquote, are within you. As within, so without, right? So when I say things like change and stuff like that, I don't know, to be honest, if it's going to happen on the external. But I know that the change that we seek always happens inwardly before it happens outwardly, right? So if we're going in this mass hysteria and in this mass like of people riddled with anxiety, then who knows what's going to happen, right? That's why we have to get back to our center and strip ourselves to the bare necessities so that we can grow and learn to kind of live and help the land and help others, right? To live fundamentally and to live with the essentials. I just keep getting essentials, right? So in the how people see you is the 7 of air, eucalyptus. So how people see you, and to me, this is really a general reading. This pile number 3s, this is for like whoever is listening to this. This isn't just you, okay? This isn't just about you. This is about the whole. This is about the collective. 7 of earth, eucalyptus. With this card and like the sayings from the guidebook, it says, okay, I'm just read this card just because this is very important. This is an important message. I feel like everyone should have got pile number 3s, to be honest. But pile number 3s, I feel like God, Spirit, Source, Energy knows y'all are leading the way and are leading the path. Okay? So I knew this was important from the beginning of this reading. So let's get into it. Okay, so it says the 7 of air eucalyptus. Trust in reason. Do not be swayed by popular opinion. Respond with integrity. It says a copper still sits next to piles of old aromatherapy books on a sunny table outside. Sunlight bounces over the scene. A warm breeze pushes eucalyptus leaves across the books, and the large eucalyptus tree nearby shudders with delight. Information is key to understanding. Trust in reason. Discern fact from feeling. When your assumptions are challenged, learn more before taking further action. Essential oils may provide quick relief but are a resource-intensive medicine. Hundreds of pounds of plant material are needed to make 1 ounce of oil. As botanicals desirable for the essential oils such as eucalyptus are planted, native species are pushed out devastating, okay? 5 of earth and the 5 of water. We have both of these in this reading. Native species are pushed out, devastating local ecosystems. Eucalyptus teaches us that what comes easily usually comes with a hidden cost. It says, but the illusion, it is often said that the greatest enemy of learning is not ignorance, is not ignorance, but the illusion of knowledge. Distill information to the essence of clarity, okay? It says act ethically whether or not anyone knows. Just as eucalyptus clears the lungs, you will breathe easy once again. Truth will give you direction. Exactly. It says crafting with the 7 of air. Seek the answer to your inquiry using the scientific method, deductive reasoning, right? It says gather eucalyptus leaves and hang them from your shower to find clarity. So pile number 3s, you might have been also attracted to pile number 2s as well. It says learn to make hydrosols at home. Be patient with the process. I don't know what hydrosols are, but I feel like y'all understand what this message is about. It's about, sharing our resources and not depleting them, right? Just from mass consumption and fighting, resist the temptation to be the change you wish to see, right? So again, in the hopes and fears position, we have the Hia of fire with California poppy. So I feel like in the hopes and fears, I feel like you want the collective to really hear this message, not just you, pile number 3s, but everyone out here, everyone in the world to hear this message and to love each other and to really realize that whatever this hysteria, this mass hysteria, I don't know why I keep getting that, this mass hysteria that's going on, we need to lean on each other, and maybe we need to let go of certain ideologies or preconceived notions that kind of thwart our growth and existence in the real quest for knowledge and truth, right? So in the outcome position, we have the Madre of water, which is oats. So that's finding comfort and peace. Okay. You could be really I keep getting off the grid, going off the grid in some way, shape or form, maybe deleting certain apps, maybe just not doing the things that you used to do in perpetuity, not really, maybe if you used to go on YouTube 24/7, just you have YouTube or something, TikTok or Instagram running 24/7 as white noise in the background, it's almost like you can't even hear your own thoughts, and you're being inundated with so many different thoughts, pile number 3s, that you didn't know what else to do but to cut it off. Right? And it led to your peace. You had to make a mind over heart decision to do this, and it led to your peace. It led to your growth. Okay. Maybe you're actually taking in nature, actual nature, taking in the scenery, looking at the water, maybe going on a trip, right? Going on a spiritual pilgrimage, or, going somewhere where you can actually see nature and be inundated in nature. Okay. To have this peace of mind that you seek, right? Almost be alone for a little bit, to think, to regain, originality in your creativity. And it's not being bombarded with everyone's BS opinions on things, or it's silliness. I'm just getting, it's just silly stuff that's going on. Just because we're able to, just because we can, you know, if that makes any sense. So let's pull one more card to conclude your reading, pile number 3s. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 3s to conclude their reading. Clear, concise, accurate messages to conclude our pile number 3's reading. Look at this. This card just flipped out. Card number 20, Scorpio, I transform. I feel like you're being transformed through the choices that you're making right now. This is a huge transformation, not just even for you, pile number 3s. It's almost like spread the word is what I'm getting, okay? Look, we have card number 52, Void of Course, Moon, missing. You feel something's missing in your life and you can't put your finger on it. But I feel like your spiritual inheritance is to spread the word, to spread the world that we need to be the change. We need to transform ourselves. And it can be a quiet resistance. It doesn't have to be super loud. It could just be through our own actions, right? Through meditating, through, you know, really like stripping ourselves to the bare necessity and essentials, and whatever that means to you, right? Excavating what's going on within us, pile number 3s, okay? I do want to read a little bit of the Scorpio card, and then we are done with your reading. This was very deep. Whew. This was deep. Okay, so it says Scorpio, I transform, October 23rd through November 21. Scorpio season could something could be happening during Scorpio season too. So it says, put your ear down close to your soul and listen hard. Oh my goodness. It says, Anne Sexton, acknowledging desire and surrendering yourself to the depths will serve you best at this time. So let me repeat that because that was loud. It says, acknowledging desire and surrendering yourself to the depths will serve you best at this time. It says, let me see. If the Scorpio card comes up, then you are being tested. You may feel isolated and on your own without much sympathy or help from others. If so, it's time to stand on your own and fight for those forces gathered against you. This is trippy. This is basically exactly what I said, especially with this 5 of fire, the 5 of wands here, and the 7 of air. Fight against the lies. Fight against the things that people want you to believe about themselves and others that is just not resonating with your soul, pile number 3s. Sheesh. It says, if so, it's time to stand on your own and fight for those forces gathered against you. You will likely win and come out much stronger and happier than before, but it's still an intense time, okay? It says there are a number of positive changes with this card. You will soon gain what you have worked so hard for. This card implies karmic issues, even the resurfacing of past life recollections, okay? So many of your relationships now will be of a karmic nature and thus be tried as well. Your life may seem like a trial, okay? So it says on the positive side, now is the time to be resourceful and guard that which you have worked hard for, okay? So I'll read the rest of this. It says, sometimes when this card comes up, it indicates you will be going through a period of deep analysis. You may seek out a professional, or you may work through this time alone by reading or through reflection, okay? So yeah, this is like the death card. The corresponding tarot is the death card. So it's like it's transformation, period. It says transformation through desire, psychic ability, okay? Here of fire, page of wands, taxes, secrets, wins and losses, sexual attraction, secret affairs. So pile number 3s, this was really deep. I think this might have been the longest pile so far. So with that being said, my lovely dreamy dreamers, I love you all so much. Love you all so much. If you like this reading, if it resonated with you, please hit the thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe. Share this content with loved ones, friends, families, and anyone else who you think would best benefit from this message provided here today. Again, my dreamy dreamers, if you're interested in a personal reading, my email is in the description box down below. Again, I want to do a lot of cool, interesting things with the Crazy Dreamer Network. So if you have any input, I value it. This is a dialogue, not a monologue. So please comment down below whatever insights, you know, whatever you want to say, comment it down below. Pile number threes. I love y'all so much. And until next time, I'll see you in our next reading. Bye.